Very nice. Keeping with this year's theme, Vote Ninjas in 2008, we'd like to get a random audience suggestion. So if you could give us a creative way to assassinate somebody, like a weird weapon or a way or strange way of doing it.
A hypodermic needle in an umbrella.
Ooh,
nice.
I like Penguin. I like
it's that Russian spy in London.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
All right. Let's see.
Halloween is my favorite time of year. And one time in high school, this was like the year Batman Returns came out, directed by Tim Burton, and had Danny DeVito as the Penguin. And anyway, I dressed up as the Penguin for high school. And it required a lot of makeup, darkening the eyes, fake nose and all. I already looked creepy enough in the costume, but when it got hot under the costume, I took off the stuff. The only thing I had on was the makeup. And just leaning my head forward like this just really creeped out my teachers.
You're frightening for this.
This is true. Summer of '89, I was at the shore with my friends, and there's a movie theater near where we had gotten our hotel at, or our little house for a senior week there. And we had a choice to see Batman, the first Batman, or Karate Kid 3. Don't know why, but we chose Karate Kid 3 to go see instead of Batman. It was an executive decision. I went to see Batman, my friends went to see the other Karate Kid 3. This theater was really crappy. When we go in there, for the first 10 minutes of the movie, all the heads were cut off. So all you saw was the body and a big black space on the screen. Eventually it came down, but then it came down too far. So you couldn't see, so you had a big spike and you couldn't see anything on the bottom. And then I made fun of my friends, but I wanted to see Batman.
So I work with zebras, and twice a year they get vaccinated. And they're not so good at hand injecting, so we hit them with darts, which stinks. It's not the most efficient way, but we're working on it. They're kind of skittish by nature. So this is the spring of '06 now. We hit the girls with the darts, and they fall out on their own. You know, when they run around, the muscles move around and whatever. It's just a little vaccine. It's no big deal. So most of them fall out. It's no problem. Well, Esther, one of our older girls, hers didn't come out. So it was in for like 3 days, and we can't get close enough to her to yank it out. So we're just watching it, just making sure she has it as she runs in the barn, out of the barn, and fine. So I'm running them in one day, and I noticed it fell out. Great, that's awesome, except it's in the yard, which is half an acre. So it's literally needle in a haystack time, and I'm like, crap, because we cannot run zebras out with a broken syringe on the end of a dart. Not cool. So I went out, I called my bosses, I'm like, I'm going to be late, I got to go find this needle in a half an acre. Good luck, right? So I go out there, and I don't know what made me go in what direction, but I walked right to it, and it was about 300 feet from the barn. Eagle eyes.
I had this ex-girlfriend who was kind of a tough girl in a lot of respects. I mean, she owned her own house, and she liked to hit yard sales and sell stuff, and she was very handy and built things and all these other things. But she was scared to death of hypodermic needles. I mean, couldn't even look at a hypodermic needle. If she saw one on TV, she'd turn her head because the thought of getting a needle was just horrible to her. She would get hysterical, and she had this doctor who would actually give her pills to sedate her so she could get an injection if she had one. And so I had gotten gallstones one year, and I said, oh man, this is painful. And she's like, that's nothing. I had kidney stones, and that was even worse. She said, because I didn't want to go to the doctors. And I said, well, you eventually went, right? She said, well, it took me 6 months before I finally went. So imagine living with the pain of kidney stones for 6 months. She told me she would come home and soak in a warm bathtub just to ease the pain a little bit, and hope that when you have kidney stones, if you drink anything, if you drink tea or whatever, that just aggravates it and makes it even worse. So she was catering her diet and her whole life just to like dealing with the pain rather than just going to the doctors and get rid of the kidney stone. She like just waited until it got so worse. She had to call an ambulance from the bathtub to like cart her to the hospital like on a Sunday at midnight to deal with her problem because it had gotten so bad.